September brought a lot of new and interesting collaborations, as well as the end of Teddy Santis Season 3, and now that the month's over, it's time to recap all of the coolest New Balances that released or were revealed during the month of September. As usual, I'll start off the video with all of the New Balances that were officially released in some sort of capacity during the month of September, and I'll end off the video with all of the New Balances that were revealed or leaked during September. First up were the last pairs from Teddy Santis Season 3, those pairs being this 990 V6 in the sulfur and green colorway, as well as the 990 V4 in the white and green colorway. The 996 in the sulfur and green colorway actually released early on ALD the month before. I thought it was a pretty solid end to Season 3. My personal favorite was the V6 in the sulfur and green colorway. I feel like this is a rock solid loud colorway for the 990 V6. Be sure to check out my full review on this colorway if you want to hear more of my thoughts. The V4 in the white and green colorway is like a low-key heat type of colorway, and I like how it consists of a mostly leather upper. Both are pretty solid pairs. Next up is the 991 in this special edition gray hand-painted version. The concept behind this colorway is really cool. So it's a gray suede 991 with special hand-painted strokes on top of it. All of these pairs are uniquely hand-painted in Italy, and while I think the concept is definitely cool, I feel like the execution leaves a little to be desired. It just looks like a 991 with just some random dark brush strokes around it. I don't really care for it. Again, it's a cool concept, but the execution is very meh in my opinion. I feel like if it was like a white or black base with some random colors as the brush strokes, it could have been a bit more interesting, but that's just me. And next up are two Main USA GRs that aren't Teddy Santis pairs, and those are the 998 and 996 in the white and black colorways. They're both very simple and clean and utilize leather and suede uppers. They're both very versatile shoes, but they are both pricey, both retailing for over $200. I think they're rock solid additions to the Main USA GR lineup, and I think it's cool that New Balance is still doing GRs that aren't from the Teddy Santis line. And next up is the release of the two-way V4 performance basketball model. As you can probably tell, this is the fourth version for the two-way performance basketball model. It's a performance basketball model that uses both fuel cell and fresh foam technologies, and this is a pretty solid first colorway. It's very clean and versatile. It consists of black and white with a pop of red near the middle of the shoe, and it will be cool to see this model in more colorways as well as PEs. And next up is a 4-pack of new 2002R Refined Future Pack colorways, first exclusively dropping early on Concepts. This 4-pack consists of a tan colorway, an all cream white colorway, a navy colorway, as well as a military green colorway. All 4 colorways are pretty simple but not plain by any means. I think they're rock solid additions to the already solid Refined Future lineup, and what's interesting is that they use rope style laces with a lace lock at the top. I guess these are supposed to be a bit more on the rugged side and maybe a little outdoor inspired. And as I said, these dropped early exclusively on Concepts and have yet to have their wider global release. And next up are two new colorways for both the 991 V1 and the 576. The first colorway is this interesting magnet with Vulcan colorway. Both the 576 and 991 V1 consists of this colorway with tumbled nubuck textile and synthetic materials on the upper. From what I can tell, it looks like the base of the shoe is a dark gray tumbled nubuck material with a navy textile in the area that mesh is usually found. They're both pretty solid dark colorways on both models. And then the other colorway is called the Contemporary Luxe colorway, and it's basically just the 576 and 991 V1 in an all white colorway. It's very plain, although that's probably the intent of the colorway, and I honestly think they could both be pretty good DIY bases, but regardless, the colorways themselves consist of premium leather uppers at premium prices. Starting off with the collaborations that released during September 2023 is the Joe Freshgood 650R Stuntman collaboration. I already did a thoughts video on this shoe, but to sum it up, I feel like this collab was just poorly executed, especially in telling the story. So the backstory behind this collab is that in the original picture that inspired the iconic Jumpman logo, Michael Jordan was actually wearing a pair of New Balance basketball shoes, and this collaboration is inspired by the colorway of the shoes Michael Jordan was wearing in that picture, except it's on a completely different model, the 650R, which is currently in production. It's only 500 pairs. It retailed for a whopping $185, which is insanely overpriced for a 650R in my opinion. Everyone says the materials are better, but It's pretty sad that it's not even made in the USA, and it just looks like a plain white 650R GR. I personally thought they should have just brought back the silhouette Michael Jordan was wearing. That would have made more sense to be only limited to 500 pairs since it wasn't currently in production, and it would have told the story better. Otherwise, with just a plain white 650R, to find out about the story, you have to just Google search the story, and you can't really do anything on the shoe itself. And next up is the ML Leon Dore T500 3-pack collaboration. The T500 is a retro tennis shoe model, and these three colorways consist of a white leather base with an accent color. There's a red, green, and black pair. They're all pretty simple and clean, but a little plain in my opinion, especially for a collab. And next up is the Whitaker Group 9060 collaboration. For those of you who don't know, Whitaker Group is the parent company of sneaker boutiques A Ma Manière, Social Status, and All Points Bulletin. As you could probably tell, this collaboration only dropped at those three sneaker boutiques, and it consisted of two different colorways. Dubbed the Missing Pieces collaboration, the first colorway on the 9060 consists of a light mint green upper, and the rest of the shoe consists of light grays and creams, and the outsole is this cool cream orange color. The other colorway consists of a sky blue suede base with some light pink mesh and a green midsole. I think both of these colorways look pretty rock solid. However, I'm not too big of a fan of the 9060, so this collaboration really isn't for me. And next up is a new Kith 1700 collaboration. This collaboration unfortunately was not made in the USA and instead was Asian made. However, from the reviews I saw, it looks like this collaboration still used high quality suedes, and that's a good thing because it actually retailed for $180. The first colorway, the Rococo Red colorway, which is basically an alt red 1700, first released exclusively at the opening of Kith's new Toronto store, and then released in limited quantities online, and then the Marshmallow and Red colorway released regularly online. I think both colorways are pretty solid, and it makes sense given that these were made for Kith's first ever Canada store. Obviously the colors are from the Canadian flag. I think the collab was good, not great, and it definitely wasn't a collab I rushed out to get. And now I'm gonna go over all of the New Balances that were revealed or leaked during September 2023. There are only 4 shoes I'm gonna feature in this part of the video, and 3 of which I already did thoughts videos on, so I'll start off with the one shoe I didn't do a video on, and that's a new Salehi Bembury 1906R colorway. This colorway is really loud and really wild. I'm not too sure if I really like it. You guys know I like louder colorways, but sometimes there are colorways that are just too loud and kind of too random, and I feel like this shoe kind of fits that. You get a bright orange base with some accents of blue and purple, and then you get a red midsole and back panel. It's definitely a loud and wild colorway for sure, and very fitting for Salehi Bembury. There's no news on when this collaboration is going to release. And next up is the Carhartt 990 V6 collaboration. I think this is going to be one of the best fall shoes of 2023. This is a rock solid neutral tone 990 V6. It's simple but not plain, and the colorway is really fitting for a Carhartt work in progress collaboration. Next up is more of a re-release, and that is the 10th anniversary Concepts 998 C-Note collaboration. This reissue is going to come in a special box that says 10th anniversary on it, as well as have the concept spell out on the side of the shoe. The C-Note is one of the most iconic New Balance collaborations of all time, and I'm really excited to see it make a return. And lastly, we have the official looks at the Stone Island 991 V2 collaboration. Honestly, I'm more interested in the 991 V2 silhouette. This colorway is just really plain in my opinion. The most interesting part about this collaboration is the different type of mesh it utilizes. It's inspired by metal lattice, which is pretty cool, but regardless, I feel like the overall collab's just really plain, but it does look good on the 991 V2, so I'm looking forward to the GRs of the 991 V2. All that being said, I do admit that it definitely is fitting for a Stone Island collaboration, and it's gonna be very popular regardless. And next up, we have the first look at the Core Gray 991 V2. I gotta say, I think the silhouette looks pretty good in this core colorway. What's most interesting about this silhouette, other than the new looks on the version 2, is the fact that it's gonna be using Fuel Cell in the midsole in addition to Absorb SBS. I'm really interested in seeing how the 991 V2 feels in terms of comfort and fit, and I'm definitely interested in getting one of these in hand and doing a review. So what were your guys' favorite New Balances that were released or revealed during the month of September? I'd definitely like to know down in the comments. So that's gonna do it for this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, follow me on my socials, check out the Intelligence site for more New Balance content and guides. If you really loved the video, please consider leaving a super thanks in the tip jar below, and thanks for watching.